Hey everyone, welcome to DevRunner. My name is Paul. I'm an endurance runner and an RRCA certified running coach. And this time around, I hope I'm bringing you the unbagging, unboxing, and initial review of my very first pair of ASICS shoes ever. I hope to find inside this box a new pair of Novablast 2s. I'm really excited, so stick with me. Here we go. All right, no point in putting it off. Let's just get this bag open one way or another. And yes, it's an ASICS box. I'm excited. Not sure if you can see this yet. Pull this bag off. There it is. ASICS, ASICS, ASICS. Check it out. There they are. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's save this box for the cats. So here they are, my brand new pair of ASICS Novablast 2s. In the Metropolis Clear Blue colorway. I think they're gorgeous, and they're surprisingly light for a shoe that's supposed to weigh 9.9 ounces in my size. I'm very excited, so let's get them laced up, then I'll head to the park and we'll capture some running footage for you all. Then we'll follow that up by going through the specs, and finally my final thoughts on what I'm hoping will be a wonderful daily trainer. Hey everybody, I just got the Novablast 2s laced up. I'm going to take them for a quick 6 miles around the park here, and I'll give you my thoughts as I run so you get some feedback real time from a runner putting them through their paces. All right, I'm 3 miles into my first run in the ASICS Novablast 2, and initial impressions, if I had to break it down in as few words as possible, squish and boing. Yes, squish when you're on your way down, boing when you're on your way up. Just a whole lot of fun so far, I'll tell you what. If I had to compare this shoe to other max cushion shoes that I've used before, the first one that comes to mind is the Hoka Clifton, a shoe that I absolutely love. But the difference between this shoe initially and the Clifton is that the Clifton is soft, you squish down, and you don't really get a lot of energy return. It's very much a shoe that's good for protecting you from the roads, the Clifton, on an easy or a recovery day. Whereas the Novablast has a little bit more energy return. The shoe definitely runs a little bit long, but I would still call it true to size. But you will notice the extra length on the shoe when you measure it with your thumb between the end of the shoe and the end of your toe. Now the upper of the shoe is a double layer mesh material, which is adequately breathable. It's 90 degrees out here today and very humid. Not a lot of breeze blowing, but I'm still feeling the air moving through the shoe. So I'm sure that can only bode well for days that are cooler, etc., etc. But I would definitely wear this shoe throughout the rest of the summer in my training. As far as the lockdown goes on this shoe, I'd say it's great. I'm not having any heel slippage. I think the padding around the collar of the shoe, it's not super duper plush, but it's more than enough to keep you super comfortable. The tongue is semi-gusseted, and so far it hasn't moved at all, shifted or anything. It's laying flat right across the middle of my foot, and the flat wound, fairly heavy gauge laces are doing a very good job with the lockdown without biting into my foot, because the tongue isn't super plush either. It's just enough to give you the protection you need, but still feel luxurious. Now the forefoot is really roomy. I'm used to running in like Sauconys and Hokas, which definitely do not afford you as much room for toe splay as this shoe does. So great news there. and I do not feel like I'm swimming in the shoe. I'm well locked down thanks to the lacing across the midfoot, so overall very impressive. Now the Flight Foam Blast midsole of this shoe, I think, is what made this shoe famous, and for all the right reasons. There's a lot of it. The specs say it's 30 millimeters of Flight Foam Blast in the heel and 22 in the forefoot, and it feels great. Generally speaking, I like more of a 4, 5, 6 millimeter drop in a shoe, but I'm definitely not feeling like I'm on too much of a slope with this shoe. I think mainly because it's so squishy. You know, every time your foot comes down, you can feel yourself sinking into it, but you don't just stay there. It immediately springs you back up in a very friendly, non-aggressive way. I wouldn't say that the Flight Foam gives you enough rigidity or enough of a firm feeling for this to be a very fast shoe. It's a wonderful, wonderful recovery day shoe. No doubt about it. It's an easy day shoe. I think I would even take it out for some enjoyable, moderate, sort of aerobic runs. But I think it's just a little too squishy for speed days, folks. The outsole of the shoe is protected by ample amounts of ASICS AHAR rubber, which is ASICS high abrasion rubber, and it's really grippy. So far I've been on asphalt surfaces, sand, packed dirt, loose dirt, and it's like super grippy. With this high a stack and this squishy a midsole, you'd think you'd start to feel a little bit sort of uneasy, especially coming around corners like I'm about to come around. But the grippiness of this outsole really helps to keep you feeling good and stable. I'm really pleasantly surprised by this shoe so far. All right, folks, so after 26 miles of running in this shoe, I think I've got a pretty good impression of what it's capable of. I would say that the Novablast 2 is a great shoe for easy and recovery days. I would even take it out on some lighter aerobic runs, but when it comes to like tempo stuff or faster, I would go to another shoe, if I'm going to speak frankly. I think that the initial squish and bounce back is very fun, very refreshing on this shoe. I don't think it has quite enough snap or spring back to be used on tempo days or faster efforts. It's very much a luxurious, squishy, and fun easy day shoe. The Novablast 2 is a very comfortable shoe. It's not overly plush, but it has padding in all the places you need it on a longer effort. It's got a well-padded collar. The semi-gusseted tongue is just thick enough so that you don't feel the pinch from the laces if you need to tighten them down. The laces themselves are flat wound, barely stretchy, but there is just a little bit of stretch there. The jacquard mesh does a great job of letting the air through. I ran in this shoe on 3 extremely hot days, and I did feel the air moving through, and it really helped a lot. I found the toe box of the shoe to be very comfortable, not overly wide, but you have plenty of room for toe splay, which is a great thing, especially on those longer runs. Now the midsole of the Novablast 2, of course, is the star of the show here. The Flight Foam Blast is nice and soft and squishy on the way down, and just bouncy enough to keep your runs nice and lively feeling no matter how far you want to go in this shoe. If you're marathon training, I couldn't recommend it enough, especially for those slower, easier efforts. The 30 millimeter stack in the heel of the shoe does a great job of keeping you protected, even on those longer runs when your form starts to break down a little bit and maybe you start to do a little bit of heel striking. My main concern with this shoe is that there's only 22 millimeters of stack in the forefoot. Even though it's a nice soft ride right now, I can tell for sure that this is going to be the first thing that gives way with this shoe. So I'd love it if ASICS increased the stack height of the foam in the forefoot of the shoe. I think that would give it even longer life and make it even more fun to run in. But that's not enough to hold me back from giving this shoe a very positive review. The ASICS AHAR Plus rubber on the outsole of this shoe is amazingly grippy. I've got absolutely no complaints about the way it performs, whether it's on asphalt, dirt, gravel, you name it, it was grippy. But I have concern about the way this decoupled groove runs around this island of rubber in the forefoot of the shoe. Every time I landed on my metatarsals, I could actually feel that, and I think it's only going to get worse as the Flight Foam Blast wears down and the shoe gets a little bit older. I think future iterations of this shoe would be better served if they lost this island of rubber and maybe replaced it with some lateral flex grooves in the shoe. So overall, folks, I would have to say that ASICS made a great first impression on me with the Novablast 2. It's a great, soft, easy day shoe that just absorbs all the abuse from those long, long runs and allows you to recover when you need to. It's a great, fun shoe, so I would have to recommend it. It's just good stuff. It's fun stuff. All right, folks, so if you've enjoyed this video, if you've found it useful, please do give this video a like. And if you've got any comments or questions on anything I've said or haven't said here, please drop them in the comments below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. With that said, folks, please get healthy, stay strong, and keep pushing. Peace out. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.